And now to tonight's weather. Tonight's going to be a wet one because, as you can see on the satellite photo, there's a low pressure system bringing a big cold front right through the beta area, which is going to bring with it rain, snow, and possible thunderstorms all throughout the region.
Now let's check the forecast for the
I
weekend.
don't believe that for one
The spawn
second.
area should be
I haven't
seeing
seen
rain with a
proper
high of
rain on
12
this server
degrees
since
Celsius. The alpha
I
house
don't
around
even
13
remember.
degrees, and the beta
I'm going to go
area
outside and
wet
enjoy the
stormy
garden.
with a maximum of 8 degrees Celsius.
See, just as I suspected, the sun's shining and it's a beautiful day. Ah. Anyone know the crafting recipe for an umbrella? Wow! Welcome back everybody to Minecraft The Journey. As you can see, it's thundering! The weather has really kicked in because Minecraft Beta 1.5 introduces the weather system to Minecraft, and that includes rain, it includes thunderstorms, it includes snow, and we're going to explore all of this in today's episode. But I need to head inside before I get completely drenched or struck by lightning. I can hardly hear myself think. Let's head inside and we'll discuss what's going on here in the world. Oh, that's much better. It's much more dry inside here. The rain sounds different from inside, doesn't it? Definitely. But unfortunately, the rain seems to be seeping through my glass ceiling and into my living room, drenching the carpets. This is not good at all. We've seen this before when the rain was first introduced. It tends to go through what are considered transparent blocks by the game, and unfortunately that means we get rain inside. It's even raining on my light fitting there. Good thing it's not electric. That's all I'll say. I might head somewhere where it's a bit more dry, maybe out the back here, where there's no way for the rain to get inside. I think what I'll also do is turn down my game sounds considerably because that weather... Oh, I can hear myself thinking again. That weather is exceptionally loud. Now, Minecraft Beta 1.5 has reintroduced the weather system into the game, or actually the weather system is brand new to Beta 1.5, but it has brought the rain back with it, and also snow, and now, as you can hear, the addition of thunderstorms as well. And I do love me a good thunderstorm, so I'm pretty excited about that. We're going to be investigating the weather system today and exploring everything that we can about it, learning about all of the trivia and the history and all of the other things that go into this brand new weather system here. So let me go and change into something a little bit more dry and we can start talking about the details. Wow, I was just getting ready to record and a lightning bolt struck me, and look, my hearts are down. And then I noticed this over here. Look at this little fella. It's a zombie pigman. Now, these are only native to the Nether. They can't make their way through portals. So what must have happened here is that a lightning bolt struck a pig, just like you, and it converted you into a zombified pigman, or a zombie pigman, I should say. Wow, I wish I had seen that on camera. I'm gonna follow this thunderstorm around, do a bit of weather chasing. Maybe we'll get to see that again, but wow, I've never even really seen that happen in the wild in the modern game. Oh, ow! Oh, that was close. Now, what's interesting about the stormy weather is that it darkens the sky. It darkens the sky enough for mobs to spawn, as you saw from that skeleton over there. And I've got a clock with me, and the clock is saying that it's about mid-morning at the moment. It's not even noon. Wow, look at that lightning. And so, yeah, mobs are spawning in the daytime because of the darker sky. That's fascinating and also a little bit treacherous. I think that it's lucky we've got these torches out here because this is preventing them from spawning around our lake area here. But yeah, it's getting pretty wet. I need to get some food because I've got none. So I'm going to head home now. And this has thrown my recording all out of whack. I had a specific sequence of events that I wanted to go through things today, but that zombie pigman, wow, that was the thing. I was just watching that last clip back, and did you see that? The lightning struck my log factory, and it's burnt to a crisp. What's going on? We have to get over there and assess the damage. Oh, wow. Oh. That lightning bolt struck right in front of me, but look at this. This is absolutely heartbreaking. How on earth did this happen? No. I don't even know what to say. This is only recent. Look, these entities are still here floating on the ground. So this has only happened in this thunderstorm. How is the entire thing gone? I'm devastated. I am devastated. This is worse than the Great Spawn Fire. I mean, the Great Spawn Fire, that was tragic. It burnt down a whole forest, but this burnt down something that I built. What am I supposed to do here? I feel like rolling back the world would be cheating, but at the same time, rebuilding this entire log factory is a lot of work. It's 80% burnt down. I mean, I could do it, but... Oh! Well, that tops off a wonderful day. And rebuild we shall. It's been a couple of days since I recorded the last set of clips where this thing burnt down because I needed a little break. After that whole incident, I needed to take a break from the game, come back all fresh, and come back and reassess the damage. And I've had a look, and it's not too bad. All I really need is a lot more logs to replace everything that's burnt down. You might remember that there's this ribbing effect, so there's quite a lot of logs here that I do have to replace, but I can just cut down trees and farm up logs for a while and do it relatively quickly, I think. The main structure is still in place, so it's just a matter of filling in the gaps, rebuilding this platform up here, rebuilding a bit of the crane up here, rebuilding some of the missing logs from this section here. You know, it's just work. It's not too bad. I know what I'm doing, so I'll find some time off camera to do that. There is also one other trick that I can do, which is to place a glass platform up in the sky right up at build height limit. Now, that's always been a pretty ugly solution, but it does stop the lightning from striking on the ground. So it's a really good idea to put a glass platform above any kind of wood structures that you have. And over here at the house, after I saw this, I was particularly worried about what could happen over here because that thing could easily go up in smoke. And I don't want to rebuild that whole thing. Anyway, let's get back to our original schedule. I wanted to go through some of the information about the new weather systems, and so let me just get myself organized and we'll get back on track. First, let's talk about rain. The first time we got a glimpse of rain in Minecraft was from one of Notch's screenshots during survival test. On October 22nd, 2009, Notch posted this picture showing the rain along with the dirt slabs, but as we know, it was only one of these two features that actually got implemented into the game, that is, the rain. Notch also posted a second screenshot showing the rain particles to be a bit thinner. Access to the rain feature in early Minecraft was added and removed quite a few times in its history. It was first added for players to access in 0.26 survival test, where players were able to toggle the rain on and off with the F5 key. During InDev 2010-02-12, the F5 rain toggle feature was disabled, but a couple of months later during InfDev in 2010-04-13, the F5 toggle was restored, but this time you could only view it while in third person. When this feature was re-added, there was a bug that came with it, which meant that the rain particles were only visible at sea level, and this is something that we saw when we were recording this series of Minecraft The Journey. These broken particles were fixed in Alpha 1.0.4, but in Alpha 1.0.5, the F5 toggle for rain was removed completely from the game, so we no longer had access to rain at all. Now in Beta 1.5, with the addition of weather, rain is back, but now it's part of the environment. You may have also noticed that it comes with its own sound effects, something that it didn't even have up until this point. Now, it had become normal for Notch to put out videos showcasing new features before the public releases would go out, and in the same video where he showed off the statistics and achievement system that we looked at a few episodes ago, he also showed off the new weather system. If you listen closely to that video, you'll notice that the rain sounded quite different to the one that went out with Beta 1.5. Let's have a little bit of a listen. Now, as is a common problem with running older versions of Minecraft in these modern day launchers, often the game sounds are the more modern variations rather than the ones that we experienced back in the day when actually playing these versions. That I think is the case here with Beta 1.5 as well. Although the original rain sounds in Beta 1.5 were close to this version, I believe the version that we're hearing is the overhauled rain sounds that you get in release version 1.9. Suffice it to say though, when you compare Notch's video that we just looked at to some of the videos on YouTube that were released during Beta 1.5 that have the rain being showcased, the sounds in Notch's video were still very different to the ones that we heard in actual Beta 1.5. So, how does rain behave? Notch gave us plenty of information about this prior to Beta 1.5 being released. It's temporal and global. Notch is indicating that the weather comes and goes, but the weather itself applies across the entire world all at once, no matter where you are. You can't see the sun, moon, stars while it's raining, and days are one level darker. This explains why the sky goes darker just as the rain sets in. I'm not making it solidify lava, as that would ruin all surface lava structures when the rain first hits, but it does put out fires. Yeah, sure, Notch, explain my log factory. In fact, it wasn't just me, but plenty of players experienced similar problems with structures burning down after they upgraded to Beta 1.5. But even though the rain is supposed to put out fires, it will not put out any fire that it's lit on Netherrack. Notch also increased the chance of catching fish during the rain based on player feedback, which is pretty cool. He also mentioned that he would try and make it fill small holes, mentioning that this might be annoying. I don't know if Notch ever tried this out in development, but it never made it into the game itself. Wolves will get wet in the rain, crops will get watered, anything else it should affect? Interestingly, many months later, it was Mojang's own Henrik Pedersen's son who noticed that rain happens above the cloud layer. Notch's reasoning? There's another layer of clouds above the low one, that's why the sky turns grey. There's an answer for everything. Now there are a few things from that list that we can check out for ourselves. First of all, you can hear, watch out dog, don't you go anywhere near that. First of all, you can see that the fire pit is still lit because these fires here are on top of Netherrack. Oh, that was close. Let's take the dog inside. Come on. No, no, dog, no. Come here, come to me. Okay, we're gonna have to feed you. Let's go inside. I wanted to check out something. If you follow me indoors. Yeah, you shake yourself off because... Or are you in the rain? You're in the rain and you still shook yourself. Come on, let's go inside properly. We need to heal you up. There we go. Yes, the dogs will shake off the water from the rain when they're outside. Oh, my heart was pumping there. I need to get some food and heal him up. And then I'm going to go up and explore that thing where it rains above the clouds. I find that to be completely bizarre. Oh yeah, look at that. You can actually see the rain on the side of the cloud and on top of the cloud. I never even thought about this before. It definitely doesn't look right though. I don't know if this has changed in modern versions, but it definitely looks wrong. And I'm keen to see what it looks like inside of a cloud here, because we've got one right here, so let's head on inside. And yep, sure enough, as I suspected, you can just see the rain inside of the cloud. How strange. This one definitely should have been implemented better. I don't think this was well thought out. The way the weather system works is pretty simple. The world's level.dat file contains some new values to track whether particular weather patterns should be active or not, and how long to wait in between changing to a different weather type. I haven't read the code to figure out how this works, but I have been able to figure out a few things from simply observing how the game behaves and what values it's storing in this file. We're going to get a bit technical here, so bear with me. Two new values have been added, raining and thundering. These are binary values, which means they can either be set to 0 or 1, and this determines whether that weather pattern should be on or off. 1 is on and 0 is off. Raining and thundering each have a corresponding countdown timer, and when one of these timers reaches 0, it will flip the bit to the opposite value, and that'll start a new countdown timer. It does this continuously. For example, if the raining value was changed from 0 to 1, the game recognizes that it should be raining, so it starts raining. It starts a new countdown timer, and once that timer reaches 0, it'll flip the bit again, back to 0, and that will cause the rain to stop. To make sure that there's a good balance of weather, the game pulls a couple of other Swifty tricks. If the game is flipping the bit to 1, i.e. activating a weather pattern, the next countdown timer period will be much shorter. If it's flipping it to 0, so turning the weather pattern off again, it'll be a longer countdown next time. This means that the rainy weather will only ever be for short periods, and clear weather might last for a lot longer. Thunderstorms are supposed to be rare occurrences, so for a thunderstorm to start, we already need it to be raining. So if raining is set to 1, and if the thunder time countdown reaches 0 while it's still raining, it flips the thundering bit to 1, activating the thunder sequence, and the game starts a thunderstorm. If the rain timer runs out before the thunder timer runs out, then the weather will reset to clear, because you can't have an active thunderstorm if there's not already rainy conditions. I know that was a lot to take in, but now we have a good understanding of how the weather patterns work. I hope. I've been discovering all kinds of interesting things about the weather in this game as we've been exploring it. Like we saw before, the rain time and the thunder time counters go down while you're in the overworld. But if you change dimensions into the nether, maybe to take a holiday away from this terrible rainy weather, those countdown timers are going to stop. So as soon as you go back through the overworld again, that rain or thunderstorm that you're experiencing is still going to be there. Ooh, if I'm worried about any of my structures burning down, there's one quick and simple thing I can do. Even if it's the middle of the day, I can sleep the thunderstorm away. All I need to do is climb into bed and cower between the sheets. And sure enough, when I wake up, the thunderstorm should be gone. The rainfall also depends on which type of biome you're in. If you're in a more arid climate, such as this desert over here, there won't be any rain at all. We can walk right through the rain here and nothing. Meanwhile, there's this big curtain of rain over here as it continues to fall down in this biome, whatever that is. But as long as you're in a desert, you'll never experience the rain. Unless it goes away just like that. Oh, there it is. Oh wow, I didn't even know. You can't even hear it. Maybe the only way to tell is because the sky's gone a little bit darker. Well, if you're anything like me, after this episode, you'll be sick of it being all wet and rainy, so I thought I'd come out here to these cold biomes, because the new weather system also causes it to snow. And look at that. It's beautiful. You might remember that in Minecraft Alpha 1.0.4, there was a 25% chance of a freshly generated world being a snowy one. But this applied to the entire world, so everywhere that you went would be constantly snowing. So, although the snow blocks, ice, snow layers and snowballs all existed back then, the only way to get access to them at the time was by living in one of those snowy worlds. As of Alpha 1.2.0, when the new biomes were added, just like the ones I'm in right now, you could get access to snow blocks, ice and snowballs again, but without the snowfall, none of it was renewable. But now, with the weather system, it snows again, which means that all of the snow is renewable, and it also means that ice will reform from water source blocks exposed to the sky. We just don't have a way of collecting them yet. One interesting thing to point out about the snow layers is that when they form naturally, they will only form to be one layer thick. Stacked snow layers do exist in the game, as of Beta 1.5, but there's no way for the player to place them. Yet. While I'm out here, I wanted to take a bit of a closer look to see how these snow particles actually work, because although it may appear as though they're flying in all sorts of different directions, they're actually not. If you stand on a block like this and put yourself approximately in the center, you can see that there are actually two panes of snow layers going on. There's one going across the screen horizontally and another one going vertically. And if I stand off to the side here, and if you watch the snow layers carefully, you can sort of see how they travel on a particular plane. The ones in front of me are traveling across, and then there's also these ones coming towards me. So there's an X in the middle of each block going along an axis like this. And when you look at it like this, it kind of looks like they're going everywhere. But if you look more closely, you can definitely see those lines. Well, I have to say that last time I was out here, tragedy struck. Oh, wow. And yes, I also wanted to point out that charged creepers are a thing in this game, and I am hoping to find one very soon. So I'll probably have to do a lot of camping out in the thunder to do that, but At the moment, I'm particularly worried about what other kind of destruction might happen. I don't want my house to catch on fire, so I'm going to head inside here and have a little bit of a quick sleep. And just say thank you very much for watching today's episode. These episodes, where I have to do a lot of research and put a lot of information together, take a particularly long time to put together, so I really appreciate it if you would like the video, leave a comment and share it with a friend. It really helps my channel grow. If you want to join my Patreon, there are links to that down in the description below, and there's also a link to Discord if you just want to come out and hang out in my Discord community and get to know me a little bit better. So before I go, I just want to say a huge thank you to my patrons, and of course to you for watching today's episode. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, this has been bugmancx. You've been watching Minecraft The Journey. Bye bye.